Welcome to the podcast edition of the Justice Report. Arkansas Access to Justice continues to address the critical justice gap affecting vulnerable Arkansans through a statewide expansion of courthouse technology, volunteer legal services, and educational programs. Our courthouse kiosk program is growing, with new installations, like the one in Lafayette County, bringing self-service legal help to underserved communities. Media coverage from 5 News highlights how these kiosks are transforming access to justice in rural areas. We've also launched this year's grant application with $100,000 in funding available and made major strides in our free Legal Answers program, which resolved 81% of submitted questions last year. Looking ahead, the Reframing Justice retreat in May will focus on court fee waiver improvements and unauthorized practice of law rules. Plus, our volunteer network is growing, with Arkansas law students stepping up through virtual and in-person clinics. My name is Rose Kennedy Early with Access to Justice, and let's get into it. Arkansas Access to Justice recently installed a new courthouse kiosk at the Lafayette County Law Library, a facility with origins rooted in local legal community collaboration. The library represents a grassroots effort by county attorneys who funded its completion to ensure access to legal resources for area residents. In the late 1980s, Lafayette County, Arkansas set out to establish a county library to better serve its residents. However, financial restrictions stopped the effort in its tracks. But around 1989, a group of local attorneys decided that they would finance the rest of the construction, and while they were at it, they would integrate a law library into the facility for local law students and lawyers. The legal community in the county rallied behind the project, contributing funds from their own pockets to help bring the vision to life. Since then, the Lafayette County Law Library has become not just a valuable legal resource, but also a central gathering place for the community. The Lafayette County Law Library houses an extensive collection of up-to-date law books, ensuring attorneys, law students, and residents have access to current legal information. And now, it features a self-service courthouse kiosk provided by the Arkansas Access to Justice Foundation, with support from the Administrative Office of the Courts, which serves as an invaluable tool for those who cannot afford an attorney. The kiosk is in high demand. Individuals seeking guidance on basic family law matters such as divorce and power of attorney documentation have found the kiosk to be extraordinarily useful in the small town. But due to the area's relatively low computer literacy rate, many residents find the technology intimidating. Fortunately, library staff are trained to help them navigate the kiosk, which is already designed with accessibility in mind. It is for this reason, among others, that many residents feel comfortable visiting the library to use the self-service kiosk. Knowing there will be helpful, friendly faces who will take the time to answer their questions goes a long way towards facilitating people's comfort with unfamiliar technology. Library Director Michael Strange has witnessed firsthand how much the community values the courthouse kiosks. He is approached by residents, in the grocery store or on the street, seeking guidance on how to use them. The popularity of these kiosks is indicative of the growing need for self-service legal tools, especially in rural communities. Former Arkansas Representative David Beatty, who helped establish the law library, described the facility as a blessing to the community. According to Beatty, ensuring the building remained operational was the primary motivation behind the law library's creation. The library also provides free notary services, with donations welcomed but not required. Beyond legal resources, the law library has evolved into a multi-purpose community space. It is open to the public, and various local groups use it for their monthly meetings. Currently, the library operates on a limited schedule, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but plans are underway to expand hours this summer to better accommodate the community's needs. For communities interested in replicating Lafayette County's success, one key takeaway is the importance of a strong leadership. Having a dedicated advocate, ideally someone within the legal community, can make all the difference in seeing a project like this through to completion. The Lafayette County Law Library is more than just a repository of legal texts. It is a cornerstone of the community, providing essential resources, fostering education, and serving as a welcoming space for residents. As it continues to adapt and grow, it remains a model for other rural communities looking to enhance legal accessibility and community engagement. Arkansas Access to Justice was recently featured by 5 News in a segment highlighting our courthouse kiosk project. The coverage examines how these kiosks are helping bridge the justice gap in our community, addressing the sobering reality that only about 8% of people living in poverty have their civil legal needs met. Let's take a listen to the full segment from 5 News.
Arkansas Access to Justice Foundation is installing court kiosks in courthouses and libraries across the state. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley gives us a closer look now at why the foundation says this is needed.
I'm here at the Van Buren Public Library where one of these kiosks is located. Especially in rural areas, many people face barriers to accessing legal aid, and that's exactly what these kiosks are trying to help with. The kiosks aim to provide better resources for people who need help with forms or legal advice, but may not have internet access or be able to hire an attorney. The Arkansas Access to Justice Foundation has already placed kiosks in courthouses and libraries in quite a few counties around our area, including in Crawford, Sebastian, and a couple in Benton and Washington counties. Leaders of the foundation say the kiosks are especially valuable in rural areas with limited internet access and few attorneys.
There's over 600,000 people in the state of Arkansas who qualify for civil legal aid, but we only have, a couple dozen attorneys, legal aid attorneys. So that still leaves a pretty big gap. And so we have to have other programs and things available so that people can represent themselves or find other resources.
She says across the state there are only about 11 counties that they're still working to get at least one of these kiosks into, and in the future they want to get multiple in each county across the state. In Van Buren, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
Back in February, 2 of our attorneys at Arkansas Access to Justice volunteered at the Super Saturday Clinic held at Goodwill in Little Rock, providing legal services to local residents. In total, volunteers prepared 16 powers of attorney, 9 wills, 3 beneficiary deeds, 1 amendment to a living trust, and 18 petitions and orders to seal. Since 2007, Super Saturday Clinics have become a vital resource for low-income Arkansans in need of legal and financial assistance. These clinics, held on Saturdays between February and March each year, are hosted in multiple cities across the state, including Eudora, West Helena, Little Rock, Locksburg, El Dorado, and Blytheville. Each year, thousands of Arkansans face legal challenges without the means to hire an attorney. Through a collaborative effort between Southern Bancorp, Friday Eldridge and Clark, Arkansas Access to Justice, Center for Arkansas Legal Services, Legal Aid of Arkansas, and both Arkansas law schools, these clinics provide crucial support for individuals with limited or no financial resources. Super Saturday Clinics provide a range of services, including estate planning, record sealing, and tax preparation. Estate planning services include legal assistance drafting wills, powers of attorney, and advance directives. This service is particularly vital for elderly or ill Arkansans who might otherwise face legal barriers to medical or end-of-life care. Record sealing assists individuals with minor, nonviolent offenses who struggle to reintegrate into society due to their criminal records. Unsealed records often create barriers to employment, housing, and education. By helping eligible individuals seal their records, volunteers provide a second chance, allowing former offenders to rebuild their lives and contribute positively to their communities. Tax preparation services prevent low-income individuals and families from missing important tax credits and deductions. Volunteers help participants prepare and file accurate tax returns, ensuring they receive all eligible refunds and credits, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. This service not only helps individuals comply with tax regulations, but it also maximizes their financial stability by putting money back into their pockets. Over the years, Super Saturday Clinics have continued to expand to offer other services through strategic partnerships to make these events even more impactful for our communities. The success of Super Saturday clinics relies on dedicated volunteers, including legal professionals and community advocates. In recent years, LAA and CALS have coordinated these essential volunteer efforts, bringing together skilled professionals who donate their time and experience to serve Arkansans in need. Mindy Maupin at Southern Bancorp and Amy Wilcox at Friday Eldridge & Clark spearhead coordination for this initiative, alongside Casey Copeland and Drew Rogers, who coordinate efforts for LAA and CALS respectively. Super Saturday clinics offer attorneys a unique opportunity to give back to their communities while enhancing their professional skills. To learn more about volunteering, contact Drew Rogers at the Center for Arkansas Legal Services. Arkansas Access to Justice has released its latest report detailing the progress of the Free Legal Answers Program, FLA, a free online service that allows low and moderate income Arkansans to receive free and confidential legal advice from volunteer attorneys. The Arkansas Free Legal Answers Program addressed 874 of the 1,081 questions submitted by Arkansans seeking legal guidance in 2024. This represents an 81% answer rate by pro bono attorneys, with 838 clients receiving assistance. The program continues in 2025, with 107 questions already answered out of 181 submitted inquiries. In 2024, the organization conducted 21 virtual clinics and 3 in-person sessions in Little Rock and Northwest Arkansas. Plans for 2025 include 21 scheduled virtual clinics and at least 4 in-person clinics statewide. Financial support for these efforts received a boost from the Arkansas Bar Foundation, which awarded a $6,000 grant to the program. Additionally, the program's outreach efforts have yielded growth in pro bono participation. 27 new pro bono attorneys joined FLA in 2024, with 5 additional attorneys already onboarded in 2025. Partnerships have been established with various institutions to enhance visibility and accessibility. These include arrangements with the Washington County Library, D. Brown and Maumelle Libraries, as well as other facilities within the Central Arkansas Library System to display free legal answers materials. FLA has also strengthened academic connections, collaborating with Bowen School of Law professor Anastasia Green to incorporate free legal answers as a practical learning experience for law students. 2 presentations were hosted at the University of Arkansas School of Law to recruit volunteer law students. A full report can be found on our website. Thank you to all our dedicated volunteers and partners who continue to expand access to justice through free legal answers. Arkansas Access to Justice will host its annual joint board retreat alongside continuing legal education sessions on May 8th through 9th, 2025, at the Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts, focusing on innovation and systemic improvements in legal access. The 2-day event, themed Reframing Justice, Innovation, Access, and Improvement, aims to address structural barriers within the state's legal system and explore solutions to enhance accessibility for underserved populations. The program will examine the Justice Index, national best practices, and innovative approaches to legal service delivery. The retreat will feature free continuing legal education sessions on May 9th, open to both in-person and virtual attendees with required registration. The first session, scheduled for 9 to 10 a.m., will cover improvements to court fee waiver processes and the newly updated Informa Pauperis form designed to reduce barriers for self-represented litigants. The presentation will address potential streamlining of income verification procedures across Arkansas courts. Following a refreshment break and networking opportunity from 10 to 11 a.m., the program will continue with an ethics-focused session on unauthorized practice of law, UPL, reform from 11 a.m. to noon. Jessica Bednarz, Director of Legal Services and the Profession at the Institute for the Advancement of the American Legal System, or the IAALS, will lead this session examining how current unauthorized practice of law restrictions impact innovation and success. Bednarz will address findings from the U.S. Justice Needs Report and LSC Justice Gap Report, review alternative approaches implemented in other states, and discuss potential regulatory changes that could expand legal service access while maintaining consumer protections. Prior to joining IAALS in 2023, Bednar's worked at the Chicago Bar Foundation for 8 years on various access to justice initiatives, including launching legal incubator programs and staffing the Chicago Bar Association and Chicago Bar Foundation Task Force on the sustainable practice of law and innovation. The CLE sessions will conclude at noon on May 9th, with joint board meetings beginning at 2:30 p.m. Registration is currently open for both in-person and virtual CLE participation through the AATJ website. This event represents part of ongoing efforts by Arkansas Access to Justice to identify and implement structural improvements to the state's legal system, with particular focus on removing barriers for disadvantaged populations seeking legal assistance. To learn more or register, visit aa2j.org/jbr25. That's AA numeric 2 lowercase j.org/jbr25. Looking to expand your legal knowledge? Here's what's coming up in our continuing legal education series. First, on March 28th, join us for a free 1-hour CLE webinar on unlawful detainer and related evictions in Arkansas. Presented by Jason Auer, Managing Partner and Fair Housing Director at Legal Aid of Arkansas, this session will provide an in-depth look at the eviction process, legal procedures, tenant rights, and available resources for preventing homelessness. With eviction cases on the rise, this CLE aims to equip attorneys and community members with the knowledge they need to navigate these complex issues effectively. The webinar will take place over Zoom from noon to 1 p.m., and registration is free. Then, on May 9th, the Arkansas Access to Justice Joint Board Retreat and CLE sessions will be held at the Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts in Little Rock from 9 a.m. to noon. This year's theme, Reframing Justice, challenges us to rethink outdated structures, reshape policies, and reimagine how justice is defined, accessed, and delivered. Through insights from the Justice Index, national best practices, and innovative solutions, we'll explore how to make the legal system more inclusive, effective, and accessible for all. For more details and registration information, visit our website or follow Arkansas Access to Justice on social media. The Delta Justice Center is partnering with Arkansas Access to Justice to compile and produce a directory of free legal resource providers throughout the state. This resource will be available for Arkansans who are interested in applying for legal services and contain a comprehensive guide of organizations that provide free and/or discounted legal services, self-help forms, legal helplines, document and advice clinics, and more. Half of all households in our state are struggling to afford basic necessities. According to Alice in Arkansas, more than 16% of Arkansas households are below the federal poverty limit, and 31% are considered asset-limited income-constrained employed, or ALICE, meaning 47% of families are barely meeting their living expenses. This leaves families priced out of the legal market with little guidance on who can assist them with critical legal issues. The directory will be widely distributed to nonprofits, community groups, and other assistance organizations and available on the Access to Justice website. Abby Brenneman, Executive Director of Arkansas Access to Justice, states, "When people can't afford an attorney, they are often left to navigate the legal system alone, leading to more self-represented litigants who struggle to present their cases in court or negotiate settlements with the opposing party, more default judgments, unresolved legal issues that impact lives and have a negative ripple effect in communities, and a decline in public trust in the legal system. This directory will be a critical tool in connecting Arkansans with the legal help they need to protect their rights and find solutions to their legal challenges." Arkansas Access to Justice is a nonprofit that ensures justice for all by addressing unmet legal problems of Arkansans through innovative programming, encouraging pro bono service, and recommending evidence-based solutions to policymakers. The Delta Justice Center is a law firm providing affordable, high-quality legal services throughout the state, especially in the Arkansas Delta. Simone Young, a second-year law student at the University of Arkansas School of Law, is serving as the project intern. For more information, or to sign up to be included in the directory or request a copy, visit A numeric 2 lowercase j.org/directory. Are you working to expand access to justice in Arkansas? The Arkansas Access to Justice Foundation is now accepting grant applications for programs that support civil legal aid and the administration of justice. This is your chance to secure funding to make a meaningful impact in your community. We are offering grants in 2 key areas. Number 1, civil legal aid to the poor. This funding supports organizations that provide direct legal services to low-income individuals, develop self-help legal resources, or facilitate pro bono legal aid through the use of volunteer private attorneys. Number 2, administration of justice. This funding is designed for programs that offer civil legal assistance to individuals who do not qualify for traditional legal aid, encourage the legal community to address the public's civil legal needs, educate the general public about legal rights and processes, or promote alternative dispute resolution solutions. $100,000 in funding is available, with grantees eligible to receive up to $50,000, depending on the volume of submissions. To apply, your organization must be a 501c3 nonprofit or a government entity, be in good standing with the state of Arkansas, have the ability to track grant expenditures, and not use awarded funds for lobbying activities. Please submit your application by April 22, 2025. Let's work together to expand access to justice for all. Apply now by sending your application to abby@arkansasjustice.org. You can find the application on our website at arkansasjustice.org. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture of access to justice across the country. In this edition of Legal Insights, Voices in Justice from Across the Nation, we turn to a recent episode of Talk Justice, where retired Texas Supreme Court Chief Justice Nathan Hecht shares insights from his decades on the bench. He reflects on the justice gap, the role of technology in the courts, and the future of access to justice. He discusses the growing number of self-represented litigants, the importance of bipartisan support for legal aid, and how new innovations, from AI to paraprofessionals, can help modernize the justice system. Many of these issues resonate here in Arkansas, where we are working to expand court access through self-help resources, courthouse kiosks, and online legal tools like Arkansas Free Legal Answers and arlawhelp.org. Chief Justice Hecht's reflections offer a compelling look at how courts and legal aid programs can adapt to meet the needs of underserved communities. To listen to the full episode, visit aa2j.org/listen. As attorneys look for ways to fulfill their annual CLE requirement, we encourage them to keep in mind Rule 4 of the Rules for Minimum Continuing Legal Education, which allows attorneys to receive 1 CLE hour for every 3 hours of pro bono work with us. We always need attorneys to join the Arkansas Free Legal Answers program. Arkansas Free Legal Answers is a completely online version of the walk-in clinic model, where clients request brief advice and counsel about a specific legal issue from a volunteer lawyer. These are real questions Arkansans have submitted. I've been having a problem with my child's mother not letting me see my child. I'm paying child support. What do I need to do? What are my rights? I was wondering if someone could help me get my kids back from my mom. I really want my kids back in my life, so please help. I got a ticket in 2022 in Pulaski County that was dismissed. I took a driving class. Am I able to get that expunged? When I search my name, it still pulls up but shows as dismissed, probation. These are just a few examples of the kinds of legal issues our neighbors are facing. Issues that volunteer attorneys can help resolve with just a few minutes of their time. Attorney volunteers can answer questions on their own schedule or work with law students via Zoom during one of our upcoming virtual clinics. Our next virtual clinic dates are April 11th, 2025, April 25th, 2025, and May 9th, 2025. Concerned about malpractice or the types of questions asked? Visit our Frequently Asked Questions page to learn more. By volunteering, you're not just earning CLE credit. You're helping real people who may have nowhere else to turn. To sign up, visit aatj.org/FLA. That wraps up this edition of the Justice Report. Thank you for tuning in and staying informed about the work being done to close the justice gap in Arkansas. The stories we share, whether it's the expansion of courthouse kiosks, efforts to prevent evictions, or the work of volunteer attorneys, are made possible by people who believe in access to justice. If you'd like to support this mission, consider making a donation at aa2j.org/donate. Every contribution helps expand legal resources, fund programs that assist Arkansans in need, and connect people with legal help where it matters the most. Be sure to follow us for updates, upcoming CLEs, and more ways to get involved. I'm Rose Kennedy Early. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.